coming to you live from the San Francisco Bay Area. It's time for Zig in the Zone with Ralph Zig Tygo.
Whoa, season 2, episode number 16. Paulie B is responsible for keeping us alive.
I'm barely responsible enough for me being alive, sir.
Well, I'm easy to please because there's not much that I do but this. And I appreciate this this opportunity to work with you over the months, more than you know. It's been a lifesaver for me in many ways.
Well, and it's always a pleasure for me hanging out with you, Ziggy, and hanging out and meeting your friends, meeting the people that you kibitz with.
Kibitz with, that's what we do. And Michael, introduce yourself, because you were talking about being a little nervous and didn't know what we did, and Paulie hit it right on the nose. We kibitz, and that's introduce yourself to Paulie.
Michael Rosencrantz. I'm going to be 72 years old next month.
Okay.
I was born in Brooklyn, lived there for over 30 years. Now I'm in Staten Island. And
what brought you to Staten Island?
Well, after I got married, I had my first child, and then my wife got pregnant again, and I decided I wanted to leave Brooklyn. I don't want to bring the kids up in Brooklyn. I wanted to move out to Staten Island.
Okay. Your prerogative, young man. 72 is young for an old geese like me. And but that's the older you are, the more blessed you are, because you've accumulated memories, and they don't have to be all good memories, but just that you get a taste of life. And Michael, what did you do avocationally?
I was a technology recruiter for over 40.
For 40 years, you said?
For over 40 years, 42 years.
Well,
now I'm retired. That's why I have time at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to do a podcast with you.
And even if it doesn't start for a while, what the hell, huh? All right.
What else have I got?
Well, thank you for this. And the reason we've been acquainted on Facebook, and I like you not for your politics so much as your ideology. And I thought we'd share some Brooklyn memories of being a kid, and I thought we'd share some Erasmus Hall memories that at your high school, my camp director, Bernie Kersner, was the basketball coach, and was pretty iconic. He recruited a number of people. One of them was Billy Cunningham, and
the Kangaroo Kid.
The Kangaroo Kid. He was quite the enigma. He played what they call black in those days, and he was a white guy playing black. And
I was very good friends with his brother, Kevin.
Oh, really?
Kevin Cunningham. Yeah.
Well, give me some insight into Billy Cunningham's being, if you will.
I didn't really see Billy C play because he was kind of before my time. I went to Erasmus from 67 to 71. And he was before me.
Well, you missed a lot of good times, but
Do you remember a guy named Colt Cannon?
no, I don't. But
He was quite a ball player. I never saw him either. But
okay,
we always had good. I remember when I went to Erasmus, we always had good basketball teams. The football teams, not so much.
I'll tell you who had good football teams in those days was Lincoln High.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you how they got to be so good. Lincoln High had at Camp Mayapack every year. They'd have a summer instructional league, and from my understanding, it was not legal. It not against the rules of PCAL or whatever it was. But I got to meet a lot of guys at, I was a campus student there for a while. And I got to meet a lot of guys on both the basketball team and the football team. And one of the guys I befriended and kept in touch with for a lot of years was Dave Newmark, the tallest Jew that ever lived. And I don't know if you remember. He went to Columbia and played in the pros for a while. And earliest memory. And that's what we're about on Comfortably Zoned, Zig in the Zone, listing memories. Not all we're about. Let's talk politics a little bit. I mentioned that you and I have the same ideology. And I don't bring people on this show who don't, because I don't want to whisper to the idiots and argue with people. Things are what they are. And both Paulie and I agree that we're too old to argue with people. And Paulie, am I correct?
You are correct, sir. Absolutely. No, if you don't get it by this time, folks, if you don't get it, you're never going to get it.
Absolutely.
And we don't even, at this point, we don't even waste our breath with you because we know that what's going on. And so we're willing to educate. If you have some questions, we're willing to educate and tell you a little bit about our opinion, but we don't have to get up on our soapbox and sit there for a long time. That's for damn sure, right? And so
absolutely not. We just try to avoid it for as much as possible, but it's impossible. I'll give you some good news, though, from this morning.
Okay.
Amazon and 60 Minutes are both standing up to the orange fucktard.
Right.
And
I saw what Amazon's doing.
Well, 60 Minutes too.
And I saw that yesterday. Yeah.
Educate me. What are they doing?
Well, they're basically telling Trump that he won't control the airwaves, and I'll let Paulie be more technical about what Amazon is doing.
So what they're doing with Amazon is Amazon as a beta test is what they're saying now, because it's changed a couple times. It's changed in the last 10 hours. It started off that the Amazon website was basically listing products from China, and I'm trying to get closer to my mic because I was doing technical stuff. They were putting on their website that products that come from China, they were putting estimated tariff costs next to the cost of the product. So if the product was $1, and then they had a tariff thing next to it that said $1.45 additional, That means it was $2.45 for that product instead of $1. And that's based on projected tariffs, current tariffs and projected tariffs. And I guess the first thing, Trump saw that this morning, woke up, called Bezos direct, and then before they could even do damage control, the White House press corps came out and said basically it was a political and aggressive move, and that they better change their ways. It already had been reported that he had talked to Bezos in the morning, and then they went to Amazon and asked him, for their comment. They said, yeah, no, we were trying to beta test, more to follow. And then like 2 hours later, they said, oh no, that was never going to go through. We don't even know how that got pushed through. So it's no longer, and it wasn't even on the Amazon site, it was on an Amazon offshoot called something else. And anyway, they backpedaled. And so now they took off the tariff thing. And so it seems like...
Is there a 90-day pause on the tariffs?
Yeah, there is a 90-day pause, but he's still, I think China currently has an extra, whatever percentage right now. There's a percentage on car tariffs for 90 days. There's a percentage on certain countries. There's a pause on them for like 90 or 60 days going till June.
You gotta hope.
But China's still getting tariffs, and they're not as big as they were supposed to be at 145% or something.
Trump is the first president to put a tariff on penguins and seagulls.
Yeah, and the island that doesn't produce anything.
Right.
Right.
How do you like that?
Yeah, no, he's gone across the board and instigated.
We laugh about him, but he wants to take over the fucking world. He wants to be king of the world. It isn't just a matter of getting reelected the next time, because that's in the making if you ask Trump and his minions. But like I say, Elton or Ellen, whatever his name is losing a lot of credence with Tesla, and I don't think he's in charge of Dodge again.
Or Doge, yeah.
Am I correct?
No, well, he's never been, and apparently he's never been the head of Doge. It's been some lady that nobody's been able to talk to because she's been on vacation in like Buenos Aires or something. And so he isn't the head of Doge because he doesn't work for the government. He's just a crony or a volunteer kind of thing. But he's lost so much money over the last 3 months that they're starting to say that he's going to, and I'm walking back over, that he had an investors meeting or like a stockholders meeting, and for his company, I think his company has gone down like 70% in value over the last 3 months.
His Tesla business is in the toilet.
Right, and so right now they think it's going to be. So he went to the stockholders meeting or held a stockholders meeting and said basically he was backing off. He wasn't going to do anything more for the government. That he's going to focus on his company, and it's probably a good time.
What's amazing to me is how in 90 days Trump managed to take a thriving economy, stock market at an all-time high, record low unemployment, and just totally fuck things up. It's just amazing that he was able to do all that in 90 days.
Right.
And let me ask you guys what your prognosis is when all this flushes out.
So it depends on what people do. So somebody asked me last week, oh, so you're not a Trumper? I'm like, no, of course not. And so the normal retort was, oh, then you're you're a Democrat. No. My party left us a long time ago. I am not a Democrat anymore. I'm an American, and I'm going to stand up for my rights. And I'm sick and tired of this shit. And so the Democrats are, for the most part, Democrats are sitting on their hands and they're being polite and they're picking their battles and all that other bullshit. What they need to do is if Trump or his team is hurting you, you need to, whatever your soapbox is, if it's Ed Studios and Zig In The Zone, if that's your soapbox, get up on your fucking soapbox and be heard. Don't go silently into the night, folks.
Put the calling number on, if you will, Paulie.
We'll try to do that. I'll let you guys know that our call-in number is 650-503-3435. Again, that number is 650-503-3435. Our phone lines are always open to you. But yes, and I would put up the little trailer, but that's another story. So
That's all right.
But yeah, so I think what we need to do as Americans is we need to be heard. We need to speak up. If something is offending you, then be heard. Well, what's your thoughts on it, Michael?
Well, the funny thing is, he ran on lowering grocery prices, and he really hasn't done that. The grocery prices are higher than ever.
Well, I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen because he thought he had made up the term groceries.
Right.
You know, this is a great thing. This is groceries, folks.
He repeats it over and over.
Yeah, like a groceries, you know. And then it was funny because he had to keep saying, you know, that's where the bacon and the lettuce and the tomatoes are. And I'm like, this guy eats a lot of BLTs, right? And so
it should not be funny, but the fucking guy is demented.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, even so, he had his physical fitness test done a couple weeks ago, and then they said he was 6'3", 220 pounds.
And you know who's 6'3", 220 pounds? The guy who plays sport, Chris Hemsworth, is 6'3", 220 pounds.
Right, and so it was funny because you want to hear something kind of funny. So after like 4 days on the internet of them saying that over and over again, like every website, including like Wikipedia, they all kind of changed to that's what his dimensions were. And I was like, wow. All you have to do, what's the old thing? If you say a lie so many times, it becomes the truth.
People start to believe it.
Yeah. Or what's the line from Liberty Valance? If you print the lie becomes the truth, or something like that. And so, yeah, I mean, if you state it enough, you say it enough. Enough people say it enough. Even the internet, even Chat GPT said, "Oh well, he must be 6'3", 220 pounds."
Yeah, because he read it on the internet.
Because so many people stated that the internet said, "Well, that must be a truth."
Right.
And so I think everything's like that. Even now they're saying, there wasn't a January 6th. There wasn't, an overthrowing of our government. There was a peaceful transfer of power. None of that shit happened on our watch.
It's a nice peaceful day.
Right, just another nice peaceful day, which will probably end up being a holiday. I've seen some of the pictures. So every president gets to decorate the White House in his or her own liking. To a certain extent, they're not supposed to like remodel the entire flippin' thing, but he has so much gold in there now, and there's so many pictures of him, which I thought they could only post like a couple pictures, but the one, I saw him doing an interview with somebody from Fox the other day, and he was in a room in the White House, and it had one of his, like it probably was him in his 30s, with like a sweater on and a tennis racket, like he was at the country club. And it was a painting. It was an oil portrait of Trump. And it was probably him 30 years ago. And I'm like, they hung that up in that room for that interview or for more people to see that shit. And so it's crazy. It looks like Michael's taking us on a tour of his home.
I lost you. I lost you guys. I can't get back. Hold on.
It's okay, you can physically turn it around if you want. But yeah, so I mean, it's just, he's a narcissist. That's why I think the tariff thing. So the reason he's doing the tariff thing is he wants to be the great negotiator, art of the deal guy, right? But then he also wants to be in the news every day. He wants people calling him and begging him. He wants to be in every news cycle, no matter what it is. And I still think I still think Putin has something on him. I still think Putin has something on him because he's really been kissing his ass. And even this last, he tweeted yesterday something about, please Putin stop, Vladimir stop the war or something. And you know that they're just fucking laughing at him. They're not going to do shit. They're not going to do anything. Our Pentagon is run by a guy, or the Department of Defense is run by a guy that used to be a news anchor on Fox News. What the fuck?
He's not even a weekend news anchor.
Right. And so we're in a nasty state of affairs. I think I need to board up the doors of Ed's studios from the inside and run like a 3-week televised podcast of me just stating all the crazy shit that he's been doing. But
what's scary is that we think in terms of having to protect ourselves from whatever's going to be enforced down the road.
Well, we were always told that no matter how much a president ran amok, that there was always these checks and balances that were gonna save us. Well, guess what, folks? Those checks and balances are judges that aren't doing shit. Some of them aren't. The Supreme Court finally cock-blocked them on some of the deportation stuff. And they're starting to get them on other shit.
They voted 9-0 to bring that guy back.
And he's still not back. So who should be sitting in jail in an El Salvadorian prison? It should be Trump.
Right.
He should be sitting in Gitmo. We still have Gitmo. Put him in Gitmo.
I'll get my face back, Paul.
You're gonna have to hit the little.
Look at my yellow pad here.
Yeah, I can see that. So you have to hit the icon on the bottom of your screen that looks like a camera with a arrow that goes in a circle. That, or you can physically turn your phone. You just won't be able to see. We'll be able to see you. You won't be able to see us. So.
The little backstage production.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm looking. He's showing me his.
Come back. All right.
There you go. The other thing is, you're showing me you have a computer at home. You could be using that bad boy.
I don't have a camera on my.
We're gonna get you one of those. Those are cheap. Get it from Amazon before the tariffs kick in.
Right. Well, got 90 days. You could be dead by then. That's to look at it from a positive standpoint. What would happen if he's dead? What's Van?
Even worse. I think it would be worse in a way because we would have J.D. Vance, but it would be the lesser of two evils. Vance has got issues. He's got issues all the way around.
The Pope was in a hospital for 88 days. He came out. He met with J.D. Vance, and then he croaked right shortly afterwards.
Less than 24 hours, wasn't it?
Less than 24 hours, yeah.
Fucking talk about the kiss of death. Boy, if anybody needs like the help of what was the doctor? what was the doctor? The Dr. Death?
Right.
What was his
He
name?
killed him.
Yeah.
I think he killed him.
I think just probably his presence, his evilness. I don't know, but I don't even know yeah, that was scary. So, but no, if we get J.D. Vance, it's gonna be worse in some ways because
that was one liberal pope, and I can understand what you're saying, Michael. That the Catholic Church is not all that progressive. This is the most progressive guy who's been pope since I was.
Yeah, he was called the People's Pope. Everybody loved this guy.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the most popular popes we ever had.
That doesn't surprise me that Vance could kill him. And nothing surprises me like Roe v. Wade passing. What the fuck is wrong with our country? Guns in school.
It's not the America I grew up with, that's for sure.
No, and that's one of the reasons I asked you to come on. What was it like growing up in Brooklyn in the 50s?
More like the 60s.
Okay.
I was born in 53, so yeah. So I got born in the 50s, but mostly in the 60s.
what was it like then versus now?
Well, when I grew up in Brooklyn in the 60s, we had everybody knew each other in my neighborhood. We had a real sense of community, and everybody looked out for each other. In the summertime, people used to take their lawn chairs out. We used to sit in front of the apartment buildings. They used to sit in front of the apartment buildings and just talk into the night, to 1, 2 in the morning. I lived a block away from the parade grounds. I don't know if you're familiar with it. But we used to play, my friends and I used to play ball all day long. We used to start out early in the morning, and we played ball until I couldn't actually see my hand. I could see my hand in front of my face. That's how much we loved playing ball.
Gotcha.
We used to talk about sports and we loved our baseball cards. We used to remember flipping baseball cards and all that stuff. And we had a candy store in the neighborhood where we used to play ball for hours. We used to, at the end of the day, we used to go to the candy store. We used to run these big Boltons.
And you hang out to try to catch tomorrow's daily news. That would be to get
We used to get the overnight. Yeah, I used to wait for the overnight edition of the Daily News.
right.
It was 8 cents. It was 8 cents back then.
And
Now it's $2.
oh wow. Well,
My friends and I used to listen to the Knicks games on a transistor radio. Listen to Bob Up and doing the Knicks games on transistor radio. That's how phenomenal.
you go, yes, right?
Yes.
That's
great.
Who was your favorite baseball team growing up? Was it the Yankees, the Mets, or the Dodgers?
I'd have to say the Yankees, but I actually went to more Met games than Yankee games because my father didn't like going to Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
We went to Yankee Stadium one time. We parked the car in a lot adjacent to the stadium, and when we came out after the game, all my father's hubcaps were gone. He was missing 4 hubcaps, and my father said to the guy, he said, "What happened to my hubcaps? They're all gone." The guy wanted to decide, I'm not responsible for any personal property. And I think that's the last time we went to a Yankee game. But it was fun going to Shea Stadium. My father had a connection. I think I mentioned this to you before, where we would we'd actually sit in the press box and watch the game, and we'd sit next to right next to the where the announcers were. And we had a great view, perfect, right behind home plate.
You mentioned that. Did you have an acquaintance with any of the announcers? Oh,
No.
over the year? Okay.
He was somebody that worked in the post office, who knew somebody, and we used to get these tickets all the time, they were great. The temperature was 100 degrees outside, we would be in air conditioning the whole game. We had a little table to put our stuff on, and we just had a perfect view of the game, it was great.
Nice. Holy, how we doing for time?
We're doing well. We are currently at 31 minutes, and your mic is doing well, sir.
Beautiful. We have a number of things to talk about. The studio notwithstanding. So, can we ask you to come back, Michael? It's been a terrific. We just got to know you, and it's been terrific.
Thank you.
All
It was
right.
fun.
All right. If I called you sometime when it was appropriate, would you like to come back?
Sure, why not?
Beautiful.
Do you want me to come back?
Oh, absolutely. And I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the conversation, Michael.
Anytime.
And so, do you want to shout out anybody? Anything you want to say? Anybody you want to say hi to?
No, not really.
There you go.
I just shout out to my wife Wendy and my children Mindy and Craig.
There you go. Right on.
Oh, that's nice. They'll have this to remember.
And shout out to my brother Bob. My brother Bob also.
There you go. There you go. So, how are you going to spend the rest of your day today?
I think I'm gonna go out and take a nice walk.
There you go. Do you have a certain path you take or a certain way you like to go?
I just walk around the neighborhood for like a half hour.
There you go. I do the same thing, but I take my dog with me. That way I have an excuse.
No, that's good.
So.
Hey, I just thought of a question to ask you, Michael. Have you spent any time in any other state but New York? Have you vacationed anywhere?
Florida.
Okay.
I was in Florida. A couple of years ago, I was in Florida. I haven't really done a lot of traveling over the past couple of years. I hope to do some traveling soon, though.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Where would you go if, what would be your first choice?
I always wanted to go to Alaska. Take a cruise to Alaska.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Alaska. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii.
I went to Hawaii on, not on my honeymoon, but, after, you know, the vacation after my honeymoon. It's really paradise up there. I would love to go back there. But it's such a long flight, I don't know if I can take it.
Oh, because you're way back there. That's right. You're not just a hop, skip, and jump over there. Ralph, where would you want to go? Right. Ralph, where would you want to go if I gave you plane tickets?
What's that?
Oh, I was asking Ralph, where would you want to go if I gave you plane tickets, Ralphie?
Oh, I would turn it in.
You would turn them in.
Absolutely not fly, and have it for the last 30 or so years. Spent a lot of time driving back and forth to see my mother in Florida in a van. Remarkably, I still choose to be kind of hopeful. And have you had any day, Michael, in your life was kind of a day where you were happy? Because I know you didn't have to do the draft.
Actually, you know what? Well, I did have a high draft. I did have a high enough draft. But I'm like Woody Allen if there's a war, I'm a hostage.
That's very good. I think it was Woody Allen who said, I'll join when they're on second base of Shea that I'll take action. It's a very funny guy, still is. And speaking of comedians, don't you agree, always a comedian, comedy producer, that Joan Rivers is quite underrated? Because we remember her as walking out one ways and stuff like that. She had a hell of a way, if I'm correct.
Oh yeah, no, she was quick as hell, and so talking about Joan Rivers, I mean, the thing that got her in trouble, I think, the most was that she got her own show as Johnny Carson was giving her guest spots as a guest host on his show, and he didn't tell her that she got the deal, and then he kind of blackballed her after that. She kind of got a black eye in some ways from the industry because, and it still is a little bit, but then it was more so that it was the boys club. Even now, when I hear somebody go, well, girls aren't funny, I kind of look at them like they're from another planet. It's like, what do you mean girls aren't funny? Sometimes girls are funnier. I will prefer a female comedian if she does it right. There's female comedians that have come through. Right, I've seen Nikki Glaser in concert. She's awesome. Or Eliza Schlesinger, or Sarah Silverman, or I can go on and on. I think even the one they just canned from the correspondence dinner. Amber Russian, great writer. She's a writer from Seth Meyers, and also is now doing Have I Got News for You on CNN. And so, great writer, funny individual. And here the administration was touting about, we're finally going to have free speech in our country again. Really? They literally said they're going to have free speech in this country again, and less than a week or two later, they're canning her from the correspondence dinner. So.
They're very thin-skinned Republicans.
Excuse me for interrupting, Paulie.
Yes, sir.
You were talking about female comedians.
Right.
One that I go back 30 years is still doing comedy, and she is just a charming person. Lori Kilmartin.
Yeah, so she was just actually on that show like a week or two ago, that Have I Got News for You. She was actually on that show as a guest. And she's still rocking. Lori's kicking butt. Bay Area girl.
Yeah.
Lori Kilmartin.
Lori Kilmartin?
Yeah, so look her up. She's great.
I think I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, and the only reason is because of the industry, I think. I think that she's paid the dues. She's paid the dues, and she's funny as hell, and she's a great writer. So.
Who did you see coming up, Michael?
Well, one of my favorites was, of course, Ronnie Dangerfield. And I love Sam Kinison. Who else? Somebody. George Carlin was a favorite of mine. Terrific. And a lot of the stuff, a lot of the stuff that he said, it's just so true. You know, what you said, he was like a prophet, you know, a lot of the stuff he said came true.
Oh, you look at his clips, and he's been gone for 6 or 7 years, and they're absolutely current in content. You would not know that he'd been gone. He was like a Nostradamus in some ways. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna say good night to you, or good afternoon to you, Michael.
Good afternoon.
All right.
Is that my duty to leave?
Well, it is in the queue, but we only have an hour, and I have to talk some studio business.
Okay, my friend.
What do they say? They say you don't have to leave, but you can't stay here.
That's
That's what the bartender would always tell me. You don't have to leave, but you just can't stay here.
All right, guys, it was a pleasure.
No, absolutely. So again, thank you, Michael, for joining us. We appreciate you, buddy.
Sorry if I came off a little awkward.
Oh no, not at all. We're definitely want to catch up again. That was great.
Absolutely. And like I say, we don't have the same politics. We have the same ideology, which, and in your case, we probably have the same politics too.
All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys, we're going to go into a slight commercial break, and then we'll be back on the other side with this, guys.
Monday 1 to 3 p.m. Junkyard Rat. Monday 4 to 6 p.m. Ghetto Poet. Tuesdays 11 to 1 p.m. Zig in the Zone. See you on our channel. Edge Studios Online. Keep standing up.
La Prestine for a life so bright. Ripped juice, fine lines, brings your skin to life. With herbs from the east, a blend so pure. Stay youthful, feel great, of that we're sure. La Prestine, the essence of youth. Sophisticated style, elegance and truth. Raise a glass to health, to joy, to life. La Prestine, your youthful delight.
For a life so bright, it's La France Gin. And right now, you can get your own bottle of La France right here in San Francisco at Total Wine and More, or online at lafrancegin.com.
All right, we're back here live in studio. Ralphie.
Paulie,
So,
tell me a little bit, and thank you, Michael Rosencrantz. You are a terrific guest. Like I say, a sportsman with a New York history, and you fit right in, Michael, ideology-wise. So, what a pleasure. But I want to hear a little bit about what's going on at the studio.
well, we're trying to do anything we can to keep these doors open, and one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm taking some of our swag, which this actually happens to be, I thought it was a rookie card, but it's an 88 Topps card of Barry Bonds. And apparently it's worth hundreds of dollars, so I put it in a screw-down case because, who knows, we may have to hawk that soon.
Absolutely. The way things are going, they may have to hawk Barry Bonds himself.
Right?
But
So right now I'm going through a whole bunch of the cards that we've opened, and seeing if any of these are worth anything. And then I'm also looking at, it's funny because even like, I don't know if you can see this. Here's the bubble gum from 1988. You hear it? That was bubble gum. And it won't break. Even when it hits the table, you would think it would shatter. It doesn't. So.
That's very interesting. I highly recommend not ingesting that.
Probably not a good idea.
Probably not a good idea.
So what are you up to in the mobile studio?
I just wanted to do a little shout out for my friend who is basically responsible for my continuing to do a podcast after my interaction with the evil that I wanted to be in this name, but I left his studio and had no idea how to do a podcast myself. But Monica, you helped me out so much. I just want to tell you that if you ever need some advertising on this show, it's always gratis for you. You have a real estate business, and people love the idea of responding, if they need to a comfortably zoned family member. It's they kind of feel relaxed. Our sponsors have experienced that. So that's my message to you, Monica.
There you go. And you guys, you can support Monica. Monica Thomas with Sexploration with Monica. You can hear her on edgestudiosonline.com every Friday night at 6 p.m. PST. That's right, Pacific Standard Time. 6 p.m. Go to Studio 1A and listen live, and you'll listen to her current offering. I believe the one she's offering up this week is her interview of Heather Atlas, aka Shameless Heather. So check out everything that Monica Thomas does. Also, go check out her website, which is monicathomas.com, and she's also serving up all her podcasts on places like iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, wherever podcasts can be heard. So check that out. So thank you for doing that. We appreciate that. So when I'm looking through some of these cards, the only ones that I see that are good, other than the Barry Bonds that we opened recently, is there's an Ozzie Smith card. There's a Candy Maldonado, and a Chili Davis card.
There's Ozzie Smith was a Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So there's an Ozzie Smith card. I guess I should put him in the. I guess I should put him in a little glass case.
Right. But you can't have every card you have in glass case.
No, you can't. You can't.
So make sure you take care of them as you go.
Exactly.
Oh, it's been a great show.
It has. It has. And
another one of our listeners. Michael came to us initially as a supporter of the show, and it's been tricky for me. So thank you.
Yeah, and if you guys are interested and you guys are looking to express yourself in a great way, especially if you're one of Zig's virtual friends or in real life, they call it IRL, in real life. If you're one of Ralph's IRL friends or virtual friends, reach out to the Comfortable Please Zone family, and Ziggy will get back to you personally. He gives you that personal touch without getting in trouble for personally touching. So reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. We appreciate your support. What's that? I'm sorry, I cut you off there.
I said you got to get some trouble, or is it fun?
That's right. There has to be a little bit of trouble involved, especially when you're in the zone. Zig, I know we keep telling this to each other, but I do appreciate you being a part of what we're doing here at Ed Studios. Thank you for including me in on your wild ride and what you're doing. So,
Thank you for being included.
there you go. And guys, again, if you want to express yourself in a creative way, you have some ideas. We're always looking for your feedback, but also we're here to help you and support you. So Ed Studios, this is what we do. We're actually having an event on Friday, May 23rd, from 6 to 9 p.m. It's the Pitch Your Pod. That's right, Pitch Your Pod. It's Pitch Your Podcast. You come in here. We have an open house. You can check out our studios. You pitch your podcast ID to us, and within 5 minutes, and we can actually try to accommodate that. We'll also give you a screen test. We'll give you a 15-minute screen test of your podcast idea. You come in, pitch the idea, we set up the scene, we put you in front of the cameras, and you're the star. So that's right, Pitch Your Pod. It's going to be on Friday, May 23rd from 6 to 9 p.m. here at 26 7th Street in San Francisco, the Oddfellows building in the basement. We'll have more information on our website at edstudiosonline.com, as well as all of our socials, and of course my socials too. So we'll be doing that, the Pitch Your Pod. That will be sponsored by the sponsor that you just saw the commercial, La France Gin. That's right, the gin that's good for your skin. That's a great motto. Gin that's great for your skin. You don't even have to rub it topically. It goes inside of you. So again, check out the Pitch Your Pod. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It goes directly into your liver.
Goes directly to your liver and makes your liver look delicioso. All right, so again, Pitch Your Pod, Friday, May 23rd from 6 to 9 p.m. Check us out. If you have any questions, send us an email at edstudiosonline@gmail.com or reach out to us at any of the socials like this one here, Ed Studios Online, and we'll take care of you. All right, Ziggy, it's that time of day. You ready, buddy?
Stay healthy.
You too, my friend. And keep doing that thing that you do. And we'll see you next week in the zone, right, buddy?
Absolutely. I got to be here to do that.
There you go. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.